Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Troll Talk Podcast. This is Season 3, Episode 3. Still don't really know how to word this, but my guest today is none other as my podcast command says, wherever the hell I put it on my stream deck. I've already lost it. Easily jump scared. If I remember, I put that correctly like 2 weeks ago. The easily jump scared NoctisNexus.
Easily jump scared.
Yeah, easily jump scared.
Yeah.
Yeah, how are you?
Yeah, that's pretty accurate. I'm good. I had a very long day at my classes this morning and got a lot done. So I'm excited. Been working a lot on my school stuff lately because I've been on like 2 week stream break.
Yeah, you have been on a break for a reason that's kind of out of your control.
Precisely.
Eh, but now, I mean, you did mention there might be a comeback after this, aka directly after this podcast.
Yeah, I'm really hopeful that we can sustain a connection to the Twitch servers for longer than 5 minutes.
I
That would be really cool,
I
especially after a 31-hour stream that ended with 62 VODs. No, 67
67.
VODs. Yep.
You
So
couldn't stream
yeah.
for 32 hours to get the magical number, huh?
Yeah, I know. That's what everybody was saying.
Yep.
I had no idea that it was 67 at that point.
This a fucking point. But it's okay. It's okay. For people that don't
Yeah.
know who you are and what you do, tell us a little bit about yourself.
So I am a content creator on Twitch, predominantly, but I do like to dabble in other platforms, and I'm about to like start kind of like a new thing on YouTube, I think. Just not really sure what direction I want to take that, but I want to prioritize YouTube a bit more. And basically, I have like different avenues of content. So I run a Minecraft SMP that has different seasons. We're actually getting ready for season 3 right now, which takes about 3 months of preparation for each season. So that's something constantly on our mind. And I have a team for that. And then like Tim is my co-content creator sometimes. So basically we produce content on my stream that's typically us playing games together, like cooperative games, and we just have like a dynamic there with our content. We're like it's like a big brother and really annoying little sister type ordeal. That's like a thing that we do quite often. And then other than that, it's mainly gaming. I've ran tournaments before for gaming. I have a wonderful mod team. I'm also a shoutcaster for Valorant for collegiate esports.
Oh shit.
So yeah, all kinds of things. I was a co-lead of a stream team, but I walked away from that.
Yep.
And so yeah, there's been a whole lot of things. I'm actually about to have a really cool partnership with a charity that I will be announcing once that is a official thing.
Ooh.
And yeah, so we have like a lot of things going on constantly.
That sounds very interesting. I'm intrigued to see that when it comes up.
Yes,
Little
and
charity work.
yeah, exactly. And if anybody is interested, once that goes out and about, let me know, and I could probably get you partnered as well.
Ooh, good to
Ooh,
know. Good to
yeah,
know. Now, I,
great opportunity.
I want to start off this entire podcast by saying it's going to be a little bit different than how most of the other podcasts have gone for people that might be listening. You're more of a private person on social media. And by
Yeah.
that, I mean you are strictly content creation from everything that I could find. And that's hard for me to say because for other people that have listened to other podcasts in the past, they know I can find anything. You, I could not, but I didn't want to go past a certain limit. Or else I could have found it. But
I'm glad to hear that.
I
That makes me feel successful in my intention.
and I do want to say I heavily respect it. Because
Mhm.
there are people that draw that line between their personal life and their social. Like you're the same person on both probably, but you just don't want people to see that, that life you had on social media before you became a content creator, which I fully respect. So, with that being said,
Oh yeah, that is very invisible.
yeah.
It's quite funny actually, because I forget that like when you mention that, I forget that people can have like the curiosities of what it was before.
Mhm.
And yeah, no, the only time I ever talk about what happened like before is like the occasional tweet, and sometimes on stream I'll bring something up about like something prior, but for the most part it's like from content
Yeah,
creation start to now.
which is perfectly fair. So that means
Mhm.
this we're gonna keep this podcast more of a Nexus networking series, if you will. So,
Oh,
oh, a little throwback on that one, huh?
that was an era.
That was an era. We could go into that one if you'd like. But a funny thing I found out. But before you became a Twitch streamer content creator, you started on YouTube. And it's funny that you mentioned that you have a series coming up on YouTube that you want to start, and you want to put more focus into YouTube. But you were a YouTuber showcasing Wizards 101.
Yes.
Oh, that smirk says that you're a little scared of that one. That's
I just
okay.
forgot that that was prior.
But it's
I
you were
I
you
forgot that that wasn't like concurrently happening. But yes, that was actually before. I
because
had never actually watched a Twitch stream before I went live.
really.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a story here for a second because NoctisNexus Gaming was from the past, and now you got rid of the word gaming on your title. But at the same time, you were also known as Nora Shadowheart.
Yes.
What made you choose the NoctisNexus name over the Shadowheart name?
So NoctisNexus is actually a gamer tag from high school when I used to play a lot of Call of Duty. Wizard 101 has you format your name in a first name, last name order. So on Wizard 101, my character is Nora Shadowheart.
Mm,
So that was never like my gamer tag that I like heavily associated with. But Noctis Nexus, I was actually previously like Epic Elf or Epic Elven, I can't remember. And that was from World of Warcraft's like auto generation of like your battle tag.
okay.
But then I wanted to undo that because in Call of Duty, I didn't want somebody to see Epic Elf and be like, "What is she doing here?" So, so then I was looking at like Latin root words one day, and Noct is like night, and I would only play at night. And then I added the is because it sounded more feminine in my mind. So then it was Noctis, and then Nexus is like interconnectivity, which ended up being my community's name on Twitch. But Noctis Nexus can loosely translate to connection of death or knights, and in Call of Duty both felt appropriate. So it's kind of like a cringe edgelord moment, but it ended up working out.
But if you don't deep dive the name, it sounds great, right? And
Yeah.
it's also one of those names that like there's multiple parts to it that people can call you. Like Noctis is
Yes.
one, Nexus is another. It's one of those like the Twitter trend that went
Nocti.
around like a month ago where it's just like
Yes.
out of 10, what do you rate these nicknames that everybody calls you? So what do you prefer to be called out of all of the nicknames that you have?
So I prefer Noctis from a professional standpoint, and I prefer Nocti from like an endearment standpoint.
Okay.
Like, it's like my friends that don't know me as Nora, when they call me Nocti, it kind of feels more personal and like cutesy and stuff.
Mm,
And Noctis feels more like how I would like address somebody that I don't really know very well, or like if they're trying to address me professionally, like as my brand and as like my accomplishments. But if they're just like, "Hey Nocti, look at this," like that feels more like this, or like, "Hey Noctis did this,"
mm.
like that kind of thing. It's kind of weird.
It's a
I
good
don't
thing
know.
I know that
It's
now
like
because
all over the place.
I've been always been calling you Nexus, so now I gotta
See,
change that.
yeah, and that's fine. It's kind of funny because like my name has changed meanings a lot. So like now, whenever I look at it, I call my community the Nexus. So it's kind of like possessive almost, like Noctis's Nexus, but it's really not. But like that's kind of how I think of it in my mind. So Nexus is like community or like the SMP, and like I don't know. It's weird.
At some points, you're just thinking like, "Oh, it's my community, the Nexus." Other points, it's like, "I control every single person in here because it's Noctis's Nexus."
Oh my god.
I get that.
Yeah, and it's kind of this one person. Since I don't capitalize my name on Twitch, it somebody called me NoctisNexus, and I was like, I was like, no, I was like, we are not doing Snexus. Like, that's not what's happening here.
I mean,
Uh,
Nara also sounds like a good one. A
Nara.
Nara. I don't know who put
Yeah.
that one in there, but that one
Nara
could
the
work too.
narwhal.
Nara the narwhal. Oh my god, that's a
There's a
cute ass
narwhal.
narwhal.
Yeah. I can't remember what Tixie named this narwhal, but
I
she
got
named
my
it something.
Pushita. That's the only thing that I have.
Oh, nice.
That's it. As I throw it on the floor. But the one thing I will say is in your About Me section, you talk about how your first stream was in January, but you did a little test stream back in August of 2020. It's a
Oh,
single stream on
you
your
looked on
record.
my Twitch tracker.
Not at all, but there's a single stream there.
Yes.
What made you hit the go live button then and then just take a 5 month break before officially starting?
So I didn't actually intend on it's actually funny. Throughout like most of the journey, I did not intend on being a streamer as much as I intended on going live for like one time.
Hmm.
Um I'm actually like a bit confused because I for some reason thought it was more than just one prior, but I think it is just that August one.
Yeah,
What year was that?
2020.
Okay, so I had just had surgery to have my half of my thyroid removed. And I went through a lot with like this friend group that I had prior because I was actually an admin of an Animal Crossing Facebook group.
Okay.
And we had created this
We're getting
group
a lot here.
from scratch. Yeah, there's like a lot going on here. So I had a group of people that were like a admin team alongside me, and it fell apart. And it was all while I was having like severe medical issues.
Mhm.
And I like there's like 4 months of my life that I don't really remember because of my thyroid issues, and so whenever like I went on that stream, I think if it was Sims 4 or it was Minecraft, and if it was Minecraft, I was playing it with my friends from Scotland that I had met through the Animal Crossing Facebook, and if it was Sims 4, I think it was just me like trying to figure out how to stream in the first place.
Mhm.
Um but then I just like lost interest or got busy, or it was probably recovery. I don't really know what was going on. I was trying to figure out what I could do with segueing that group into like me producing content and like monetization, although that wasn't like really grounded by anything because I didn't understand it and I didn't know how like capture cards or anything worked, so I couldn't have done Animal Crossing. So
Yeah.
it was really interesting, but I don't really remember much of that time. But Tim is the reason I went live in January
That's good.
and stuck with it. We all were just doing it as like a friend thing, and then it like stuck, and like all of a sudden I was an affiliate, and like the minimum amount of time it
You
takes
did
to
it
be
in
an
a week.
affiliate.
Yep.
Yeah, and we were like, "Oh, this is going somewhere." Yeah, it was kind of wild.
Because I was gonna ask, when you started in January, you kept to Wizards 101. You basically brought the YouTube content over to Twitch. And if Tim's the
Yes.
reason why you started actually streaming it, what was like the conversation or the discussion that you had that converted it from a YouTube discussion to a Twitch discussion? Do you?
So
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
YouTube wasn't necessarily. I don't know if it was necessarily like a discussion or just kind of like, oh, I was just doing it on the side. I had like some Discord friends because I had just gotten Discord that I had met through Wizard 101 because that was like my only online presence at that time.
Mm-hmm.
Just a gamer playing Wizard 101, meeting people. I discovered that Wizard 101 had like a Discord and a community and everything. I actually met Tim on Wizard 101. But the YouTube was like one of the people that I had met was like, "Hey, you could like do this." And I was like, "Okay, I'll try it." I had no idea what I was doing. I didn't even watch YouTube actively at that point. But then Tim and me had like mentioned streaming, I
Mm-hmm.
think, and I was like, "Yeah, like I would love to get it a try, but like I'm scared and I don't really understand it." And then Tim was like, "No, do it. Like I'll help you set everything up." And I was like, "I don't even know what you mean by set everything up, but okay, let's try." And then all of our friends from Wizard 101 watched, and it just yeah,
Just
it
skyrocketed you
was
to
kind of
affiliate.
crazy. Yeah, like I'm pretty sure sometimes I still average the viewership that I did in Wizard 101 like when I first started streaming. I was like, "Wait." I'm like, "Wait, what's going on here?" But
It's
yeah.
great. Now, do you feel like you starting on Wizards 101, like with the community that you had, was kind of like an advantage that most new streamers don't have right off the bat? And do you feel like it was something that you cater to the beginning success, or do you feel like that was something that you would rather change looking back on it?
That is without a doubt an advantage that I had. Um, I was very social and very immersed on Wizard 101
Mhm.
and spent so much time. I don't know how much you know about Wizard 101, but
Absolutely
essentially,
nothing.
yeah. So essentially, it's an MMO, and right now, I believe the level cap is 160, and there is relatively no way to skip main storyline quests. You have to do every single main storyline quest, and it can take like 4 months of dedicated game time to max a character. Um, and this I was doing dedicated like 7 hours a day on Wizard 101. So I was in the community. And another thing we did was we would do giveaways. So we would give away packs within the game because it's kind of built like a gotcha game to some
Mhm.
extent. It's not like pay to win, but some would argue it is.
Yeah.
But
You can get
we
everything
would
for free, but you can buy it to make it quicker.
yeah, so we would do that and we would use the giveaways to incentivize viewership. So we were doing some really like decent marketing for only word of mouth on Wizard
That
because I didn't have all the other socials and stuff.
that's
And
pretty
so
solid.
yeah, it skyrocketed. And all of my mods at that point were Wizard 101 players and we just had like a community. And actually if you wanna see what that looks like nowadays, if you, there's a streamer, her name is It's Wicked Mom. She's literally one of the best people ever, and she's a Wizard 101 streamer, has streamed Wizard 101 like 600 days, I think. Like, yeah, she's dedicated, and she's incredible, and she has stuck with Wizard and does that every day. So,
Wow.
yeah, she's an example of Wizard 101 as a content creator.
Jesus. Like for me, I can't picture myself sticking to one game for a very long period of time. And that kind of leads me into like the next topic I wanted to talk about. Because after your first few months, for about 2.5 months, you strictly stuck to Wizards 101. You maybe threw in an occasional other game here and there, but it was Wizards 101 strictly. But then you eventually dove into the variety side of gaming. You went into Apex, you went into Phasmo, you went into
Yeah, there was
Among
an
Us.
Apex phase for, like, a solid month, and then Phasma I don't know what was happening, I was all over the place, it was
You
pretty
you
funny.
still got the Valorant phase too, but that's okay. What
Yeah.
what was that like deciding factor 2 years ago, pretty much to the date actually, that made you dive into the variety side and kind of push aside Wizards 101 for the time being? You still brought it back, but diving into
So,
variety.
I think part of it was, me and Tim had maxed our characters out on Wizard, and it was looking like a while until the updates, and Tim, you can correct me in chat if you remember, but basically, we were both burnt out and I was exploring other games such as Apex.
Mhm.
Um, Apex was actually whenever I hit 200 followers on Twitch, and I remember that moment very specifically. And then we had set up a goal for a Phasmo stream, and I had never played a horror game in my life. And then once we played, I was hooked because of just like the different like emotional rush that it would cause and everything. And it felt like it was good content. Like whenever you just start playing horror games and you play something like Phasmo, you can farm so much content and so many moments and it's just ongoing and it's constantly evolving.
Yep.
Um so that really helped push that from like a content angle and growing. And I had some of my best streams on Phasmo. I think looking back, like I have some good memories of some really silly like streams and moments. And that's where I started networking a lot more too. So
Yeah.
within the Phasmo category, I was meeting other Phasmo streamers. I was helping push people to affiliate. And that made me feel really good. And that's kind of when I wanted to feel like I was growing more,
Mhm.
was whenever I was helping smaller people reach affiliate by rating in and stuff. I forget how much of a part of that I like to do because helping people reach that like first goal and then like always remembering that kindness
Yeah.
and then they do that for other people, it starts like a really cool cycle, I think.
It really does. Like, because at the end of the day, we mentioned, the advantage you had with Wizards 101. Not everybody even has a single friend that will watch their stream, work
Mhm.
on it, right? So to be able to bring the community that helped you hit affiliate into other people's communities to help them hit affiliate, it's one of the greatest feelings. Because
Mhm.
you used to do that with, Phasmo, for example. I was doing the same thing with Need for Speed
Mhm.
around the same time too, which is funny because as I did more and more research, I realized how much of a similar path we had with our content creation. And one of the biggest things is after you started really with the variety, you wanted to show the love to the categories that meant the most to you,
Mhm.
right? And for me, like the one biggest thing that I started on was Need for Speed Heat. And I would always raid Need for Speed Heat streamers that maybe haven't hit that affiliate status yet or are just on the cusp of it, and I'd be able to rate in with like 7 8 viewers, but that's like just shoots up the average there for a little bit to potentially get them
Mhm.
on that other side. Or maybe somebody was shy on followers, and we'd go in, drop like 5 6 follows, and that's already like 10% of that goal that you need. So
Mhm.
you'd always be looking for like
Exactly.
those little hidden gems that are just starting off to be able to give them that motivation off the bat, like, hey, you've hit affiliate.
Mhm.
Like,
I really miss that, like, part of Twitch, I feel,
mhm,
especially when everybody was starting streaming. For that, like, 6 or 7 months, it was, like, really motivating to constantly be growing alongside people. I
yeah.
feel like I've reached a point where it feels like everybody's on an island,
Yeah,
and I miss that, like, drive of, like, the almost like the 7 to 10 average viewership, I think, is probably where I felt that the most.
yes. I can full heartedly agree to that.
And once you taste like a level of success almost, it's kind of becomes like a comparison game where you're like, "Oh, well, I'm at the same place that that person is, so why am I not reaping the same reward?" Or like, "Why am I reaping more rewards?"
Yeah.
And it's like I miss the, like, the innocence of being much smaller and much less knowledgeable of the industry.
I I feel like that's something that doesn't get talked about enough in an honest manner. Like, for me, I'm not a person that is shy to talk about numbers or, like
Mhm,
in a financial aspect, I won't mention exact numbers regarding like payouts or whatever, but where the money goes, for example, like especially with my community and stuff like that, and even other streamers. And just that's because we are at the point now where we understand the industry a lot more, and we're at the point where, yeah, we're able to have this hobby provide a little bit of extra income, or if it's your full-time career, like it was and still kind of is for me. I had to pick up a part-time job, but it is what it is.
mhm.
Um, the innocence of like that 7 to 10 viewer average is the exact point, is where everybody's just hyping each other up. You're not focused on anything else besides let's hit that 15 together, let's hit that 20 together, that 25. But once you hit that 20, it kind of just it drops. That
It's kind of wild, like and not only, like, 20 I've been in a very weird situation recently where I I'm still in college, so I don't necessarily have as much time as I want to dedicate to this. Not that necessarily I would ever have more time because I do have a lot of free time. Um, but growing has been not it's definitely not expected to be linear,
yeah.
but mine has certainly not been lately. I think from a viewership standpoint, in around December, I was very comfortably organically averaging like 40 or so viewers. And it's been dropping significantly.
Mhm.
I don't know if that's necessarily my alignment with constantly streaming Fire Emblem, um, or like lesser popular game categories, or just like natural viewership loss, or what's happening. But I miss the feeling of not caring. But this is how I pay my bills, so
Yeah.
it's become so like I have to make strategic decisions for growth while I'm about to move in 4 months and hopefully start my career with my degree. So
Yep.
I'm really excited to get back into the hobby like, it would be a dedicated hobby because, I mean,
Of course.
I could not step away.
Yeah.
Um, but, I'm excited to be able to stream and not worry about anything like that and
Yeah.
just being there, because that's where the best things happen.
I full heartedly agree because like I figured we were on that same like this is our full time career, like this is our
Mhm.
income. Like I mentioned, I picked up a part time job in May for like income security. That's now my community knows won't give me the hours that they promised me. I'm
Mhm.
management at a retail job and I'm getting less hours than part timers. Kind of sad, but at the same time, it's like that viewership number. Like I don't focus on my numbers as much, but as content creators and sorry.
It's like, as content creators, your mouth is still moving. What? It's okay, guys. I can talk for the podcast. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
my my mic cord for some reason, Blue Yeti, I believe you upgraded recently from a Blue Yeti, right? You're on the
yes,
Shure Pod mic now. But
the NV7.
the the cord and the port of 3 years of usage almost, this shit is
Yes.
loose. It's
Yeah.
terrible. But either way, what I was trying to say was we're at that turning point as creators where it's just like we have to make proper decisions to kind of continue the growth. Now, Twitch viewership did drop 40% across the board in around November,
Mhm.
December. So that is nobody's fault. Like it's not the creator's fault. It's COVID has pretty much completely cleared up around the world. We all started in the COVID era, especially in our circle. And it was very easy for us to get to that, and it's a broad area, that 25 to 60 average, anywhere in there.
Oh, yeah.
Um,
Once you're somewhere in there, you're in the whole thing, and
yeah,
it doesn't. It's like
because
you're
six
like, where am I?
60 is kind of like that hard turning point where do you push for partner? Do you just naturally still go with it? Do you just plateau? And for me, I plateaued at about a 25, and I was trying to figure out my next steps of like, okay, where am I gonna go past 25? How am I gonna
Mhm.
do it? But then I had to pick up that part time job, and that drastically like stopped the networking that I was doing because I just didn't have the time at that point. Um,
That's why I had to start facilitating networking in almost a standardized method.
yeah, and one of the biggest things for me too in comparison to most people is I absolutely adore this business. I love content creation, but holy fuck, where is my motivation sometimes to just post on TikTok, post on Instagram, post on YouTube Shorts?
Mhm.
Because I have like 50 clips on my phone ready to go, but the 2 second motivation is never there to just hit it, just hit
Mhm.
go, send, live, schedule out. But then randomly, once every 3 weeks, I'll get motivation to schedule out like 10 YouTube shorts and they pop off and they'll do great. It's,
That's one of
it's
my biggest issues as well. I actually have become a thumbnail artist on YouTube for my friend Dr. Beer.
okay.
And in return, he edits shorts that I submit via Google Drive and uploads them for me.
Okay.
So he just posts and like drafts on his YouTube. I thumbnail them and
Mm,
make sure that like it reflects the content. And it yeah, it's
that's a
and then he just schedules my shorts. It's been wonderful.
that is
And
great.
it's a good way because there's no need for when you're exchanging services, there's no need to also exchange money
Yeah,
because we would just be giving each
the
other
money
the
back.
money. And that's one of the biggest reasons that I struggle to justify subscribing to people on Twitch
Yeah.
because realistically, if I subscribe to you and you subscribe to me, we're both losing $2.50 that is not going to either of us.
Yep.
We're just giving Twitch money. So the justification of that has been something that it took me a while to learn. And now I'm like, all right, it's good for networking purposes, but I'd rather give bits than give a sub
Yeah.
because it doesn't translate as much.
And something just got put in chat as well for the people listening on Spotify and YouTube. These are live recorded usually on Thursdays, but this one's a special edition on Tuesday. Join the Discord if you want to see the rest of the schedule on these podcasts. But it got put in chat taxes. That's the biggest thing because it's also tax season. If you're just exchanging income expense, that messes with your taxes so much because depending on how much it's done, it can put you in an entirely different tax bracket and you never saw a penny of it realistically.
Yes.
So, and that's one of the things that's just like for me, I don't really have the services that I can offer to other people, like,
Mhm.
editing or stuff like that. I'll always talk to my friends about like I always want to commission them. Like I will be a person that will pay for a service, especially from a friend. The fact that
Mhm.
you made a banner in like 5 minutes for this podcast like 3 weeks ago just for your Discord server because I like banners was
I
you did
I've
that
done
while
that
I
with
was at
so
work, and
many
I'm like,
things.
how do I give back for this? And you're like,
That
just use it
I
for whatever. I'm
always
like,
make a
what?
Discord banner. I'm like, I'm gonna make it anyways. So I was like, well, just send me what your branding looks like, and then I'll make a banner real quick. And then I was like, here, and you were like, oh, what the? And I was like, what do you mean? I
Like
was like, this is normal me activities.
it always just blows me away to like see my streamer friends have not just the on-screen personality and like talent, it's that off-stream stuff. That like
Oh,
even just simple
yeah.
Photoshop or even using Canvas. I've heard that's so easy, but like if you put that in front of me, I'm just gonna be a loading symbol in my brain. I'm not gonna know what to do. Like
Yeah.
hell, I even suck recording stuff. I have to record a happy birthday message. It's gonna take me 5 attempts because half the time I'm muted and the other half of the time I stutter. And I'm like, I just want this to be a perfect script. Like, I don't know
Mhm.
if you know Ludish, for example.
Yeah, I love
Um,
Ludish.
so she just played her birthday video today because today was her birthday. But I had Lemon messaging me constantly, like, "Hey, have you recorded your video yet? Hey, have you recorded your video yet?" And I was like super busy with work because two of my managers had COVID. And then she's like, "Today's the last day." I'm walking up to my work. I pull out my phone. I'm just one take. Hey, you old fart, happy birthday.
Yeah.
I just one taked it vertical on my phone. I'm like, "Is this okay?" She's like, "This is perfect. This is actually like your scuffed content, and I love it." I'm like, "Perfect. That's all
Oh
I
my
needed."
gosh. I had to do a similar one. So Ashuri Yuki, I went to TwitchCon with them and their partner, and we were at TwitchCon and it was Ash's birthday and I hadn't recorded the video that I was supposed to record. So I was walking to like a March of Dimes picnic and it was very hot outside at TwitchCon. I looked a mess and I was just running while holding this video. I was like, "Happy birthday! You're amazing! Thank you for bringing me here. I wouldn't be here without you." And I was just like stammering. I have no idea what I even said in this video. And I sent it to their mod, and they were like, "Oh, this is perfect." I was like, "Okay, I guess." I was like, "This is not what I would have preferred it to be, but here we are."
What I think is like the genuine like real aspects of these videos are better than just like we sitting at our setup and being like, "Hey, happy birthday," like just staring at the
Oh,
camera,
exactly.
right?
Exactly. It shows more of like who you are and what's going on in the day in the life.
I had a 30-second walk. I did that video in 27, so it worked
Yeah.
for me. But hey, by the way, speaking of TwitchCon, I've been following you, and you've been following me for like a year, and we were both at TwitchCon, and we didn't even see each other. That was the funniest thing.
I have so many. Okay, I was genuinely so shocked at the quantity of people who wanted to meet me. Like on
Likewise.
my tweets and stuff that like I was like, "Hey, if you want to meet up, let me know." And everything was exploding. And I was like, I don't realize how this has gotten to this. Like, but Twitter has been huge for me meeting people.
Yeah.
Um but, like, I was walking in the bars in the Gaslamp district, like, I was in the street walking, and I heard somebody, like, yell Noctis at the bar. I was like, "This would never happen,
Yep.
like, ever." In any other timeline that somebody like, it felt so weird to be recognized for who you are in person, but not even who you are, like your gamer tag.
Yep.
I was like, "Wait, Noctis? Why are we asking where Noctis is?" I was like, "I don't know anybody else that goes by that. Are you talking to me?" And they were, and it was like every time I was at the bars, it was like, "Hey, Noctis," and I was like, "What do you mean? You know me?" Or like going up to people that I didn't expect would know me, like Pixel
Oh
Kitten.
my god.
Literally, I went up to Pixel Kitten and I was like, "Oh my gosh, hello! I've watched your streams before and I really enjoy your content. My name is Noctis," and I showed like my name tag
Yeah.
because I know that like it's easier to read. And Pixel like met me with a hug and was like, "Oh my god, we're mutuals on Twitter. I love you." And I was just like, I was like, "Error, not loading. Hold on. What do you mean you recognize me?" Like, it was so weird.
I had a similar experience with a couple people. First one was Nikage or Beats,
Mhm.
because I was supposed to like, she said she was doing a meetup at TwitchCon, but I saw her like the day before, like the day where we were all
Mhm.
getting our passes. I was just like, "What's up, Nikage?" And she's like, "Trolleyzz?" I was like, "How do you know me?"
Yeah.
I'm like, "I've chatted in your chat like twice. We're just mutuals. Like we
Mhm.
follow each other." But I was just like, "Huh?" It's because she knows me through Sori's community, and then like I'm a bigger part of Sori's community. I feel like I've been there for like 2 years, so I guess. But
Mhm.
shout out Sori. But um, she recognized me right away. I'm like, "Huh?" And then another one that night, I go to the bar and I'm meeting up with like Capri, Mistress, and all of them, like all the people I saw later or
Mhm.
earlier on in the day. And then I stand up, or I'm
It's
at the.
wild that you were where they were, because there were a couple times where I was as well.
I'm pretty sure we were at the same bar a couple times and just
We
never
would have
saw each
had
other,
to have
or
been.
we were 5 minutes apart. Because like you got a photo with
Mhm.
Sweets the same day I did.
Mm.
You
Yeah.
met up with BB Jess the same day I did.
Oh my gosh, that's another one that really, like, blew me away, like, because
Yep.
I had perceived that me and Jess were mutuals and almost friends,
Hmm.
but there's a certain level where you're like, "Am I being parasocial right
Yeah.
now?" But I met her on 3 separate occasions, all of which she knew me, and she's actually kind of one of the first people that called me Nocti. Um,
Aw.
and so, like, that's, like, special, but it was always just, like, mind-blowing because I was like, "Girl, you got, like, 100,000 followers. Why do you know me?" Like, it was kinda weird.
One of the things that I learned with TwitchCon is, well, two things. The number one, which was the main one to me, was we as creators, especially in our circle, are known by more than what we perceive.
Definitely.
Even if we don't talk to the people, they know of us and we know of them.
Mhm.
And that was really heavily shown at TwitchCon because of just the amount of people that I would go up to and they'd be like, "Oh my god, Trolleyzz," or the fact that I had a Twitter post that popped off and I was called the Powder Boy by people that I've never met before in my life. That fun fact, I had a tub of gamer subs explode in a suitcase and my tweet got over 100 likes
Oh
on
my
the
god.
opening day. And then I go to a bar in Mufassi. I don't know if you
Oh,
recognize
I
that
love
name.
Mufassi. I was on,
Finds
Mufassi and Macaroni Tony's, talk show.
He just found me randomly at a bar where Game Pass was doing stand up and he's like, "Aren't you the Powder Boy from Twitter?" And I'm like, "How do you know me?" He's like,
Oh my
"Meg
god.
showed me." I'm like, "Megaroni Tony? She knows me too?"
Yeah,
Because we're just like
that's
following
even
each other. I
funnier.
never really interacted with her stuff. And then she came in later. I was just like, "You are the culprit that exposed me as the Powder Boy." But it was great. I think that was like one of the funniest moments that happened at
That's
TwitchCon for me.
incredible.
But are you going to TwitchCon this year for Vegas?
I intend on it. It
Yeah.
depends on my ability to gather the finances together. Right now I'm in a rough place,
Yeah.
so it kind of I've got to crawl back to comfort and
Hmm.
then we might be able to talk about that. I was absolutely I'm forever indebted because I was not the reason I got to go to TwitchCon.
Hmm.
I did not pay for my flight or where I stayed. It was a gift from Ash and Floobs, and there's absolutely no way I would have been able to go. And then most of my meals were also paid for,
Hmm.
and it was really, really, like, I could never repay the kindness because it was very important for me at that part of where I was at as a streamer to go. My family took it more legitimately. My mom is still to this day absolutely shocked at the fact that I got to go to San Diego, California for what I do.
Yep.
Like, and she still talks about it with all her coworkers and everything. And it's just like, yeah, that was important for me to really feel like the content creator. And my FOMO was already happening beforehand because I didn't find out until 2 weeks before TwitchCon that I was going to be able to go.
Oh my
Um,
god.
yeah, my professors were also freaking out for me, and it was just a really big moment.
That's always good. For
Definitely.
I like I relate with the parents realizing like you're able to do this because you're just on the internet. It's because they
Mhm.
grew up without it, right? It's a full aspect of culture change,
Oh,
right?
certainly.
But when I told my parents like, yeah, I'm going to San Diego for my streaming, they're like, where are you getting the money? I'm like, my community was generous. I
Mhm.
had my 2-year anniversary stream, and all the money earned from that was funding my trip, and they blew it out of the water. So oh, just like my entire trip was paid for by my community, and they're like, they asked how much it was. I told them like the rough number of how much I was
Mhm.
expecting, and they're just like, there's like, how? What did you do?
Mhm.
You were just sitting there. I'm like, I'm doing my stream, and then that's kind of when they started taking it seriously.
Mhm.
And then with this trip down to Texas and New York that I did at the beginning of the year, and then I went down to Florida as well. And I'm realizing like the partnerships I have, like they're actually investing more and more into it. They hate the fact that I'm on the other side of their bedroom wall and I'm loud sometimes at like 1
Mhm.
a.m., but that's besides the point. It was one of those
Literally.
it's one of those things where once they actually realize that it's a full-blown career, they were supporting me, but that's when I feel like they actually started to.
Oh,
Um,
definitely.
it was a big turning point. It was one of those things where it's just like this is actually accepted now. This is a reality. Like I didn't care about their opinions, but the fact that their opinion is now positive, it's like holy shit.
It helps a lot.
It does help a lot. Now, I talked about that part. That's where I wanted to be because I have like a whole bunch of notes and like I message you. I was just like I have a script, I have a script, but we don't have to follow it. How we just talked for like 20 minutes there about TwitchCon and all this other stuff. Like, you think I have that in the script? No. But I do want to get into the first segment of the podcast. We have a few
The
here.
first
Yeah, we
segment.
usually do we usually do 4.
Oh, okay.
We usually do 4. Now,
Segment time.
this one is a little throwback. It's not one that chat might be expecting. We're,
Oh,
we're gonna take a little
I'm
trip.
not sure I expect it either.
Oh, we're gonna take a little trip down memory lane, and this is why I'm screen sharing.
There's probably gonna be somebody that I can blame for this.
Oh no 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 no! This is all researched by me this time.
Oh,
Wait till
okay.
later, and then that might change. But I want to take a trip down memory lane of the Noctis setup. Let's talk
I
about your first
Oh,
webcam
Jesus Christ. Why?
and
Why must you do
your
this to me?
background here, where it's just a plain white wall with a window. Can you talk about the beginning of the NoctisNexus streams with this webcam setup using, I'm
Bro,
gonna
I
guess, a
don't even
ceiling
look like
titty
the
as your
same
lighting?
person right now. I'm just looking at that and like I quite literally am not the same person. But I'm wearing blue, just
you
different
are you
shirt.
are
This
wearing
is
blue, but
this is very insightful.
this is the humble beginnings of NoctisNexus.
Yes, it's quite amazing how much you can change in 2 years when you start at 20 and you're now 22.
Listen, I started at 20 and I'm 23, so I know how you feel.
Yeah,
Now,
I'm right behind you. Don't
right
worry, I'll
behind,
be there
hey,
soon.
listen, birthday's December. That's why I could say I started at
Oh,
20.
okay. Yeah.
But tell us
I
about
was 20.
the humble beginnings, where you started. Like, is this a laptop cam? Is this like a C920? What were we looking at here?
That is a Blue Yeti microphone that was given to me by my ex in which I lived with. But I've always until my current relationship been very private, so nobody actually knew I was living with anybody
Hmm.
and did not know I was in a relationship. Um so yeah,
It would,
I there no concept of lighting, no concept of what production quality was. My mic would redline when I opened my
yep.
mouth.
That's a Blue Yeti.
Yeah. That was a rough one. Since that's when I started, that is a laptop cam.
Hmm.
That should be my current or previous laptop camera. Now the thing is, I don't know if it's my current one or the previous one, but the laptop camera was actually at the bottom of the laptop monitor. So for it to uh yeah, this is my previous laptop, so I think that was the top one, Tim.
Hmm.
So that one it would show the top
Yeah.
cam, but my current gaming laptop, the webcam is actually at the bottom
That is
of
so
the
weird.
so it has to be on a mount in
Yeah.
order for you to be able to use it, in which I had to do. Um, but
So now
yeah,
is
so
that
that laptop my cat actually poured water on and
that's
it
impressive.
completely fried it, and
That's not impressive.
while I
Never
was
mind.
live.
Oh
Yeah,
no.
it's okay. Back then, that really didn't mean much. So
Well, I mean, from there we upgraded
quite funny.
to a different background. You had a pink wall and a couple boards in
Oh
the
yes, so
background.
that's when I moved back home after breakup.
Mhm.
Um, why that screenshot, Trolleyzz?
Why
You did
not?
me dirty.
Why
You
not?
did me very dirty. What is
Oh,
that
what do you
face?
mean? I,
What
I
is
didn't I didn't
happening?
I didn't take 5 minutes going through a single clip for a screenshot or anything. I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm sure you didn't.
Not at all.
Yes, hair still burnt straight and didn't care. Um, didn't cut my hair at that point either. I always straightened my hair. It was like I don't know what I was thinking. I was literally destroying it. I have curly wavy hair. uh yeah. Um Pink wall. That's my childhood home back my childhood hold whoa whoa huh! My childhood room back home. Holy mother of stutter and tripping over words. Okay, so anyways, they actually don't live there anymore, so I actually have not seen that in a while. So that's very nice to look at. There's also a drawing on the whiteboard behind me. I put up decorations.
There we go.
At
I
least now
think
we have a background.
okay.
Still room light.
My mic there was bugging out the whole time because like I had my controller plugged in and it was trying to register that as my microphone and my speaker, and then it would like just swap because the cords are loose, and I'm just like
Yeah.
stop. So I threw the controller, I'm like stop being plugged in, and now we're good. And I might be
Yeah, we're
red by
good
then.
now.
Is my mic's quality still defined? Either way, this is
Yeah,
a
you
one
sound
shot.
great.
So congratulations if you made it this far into the YouTube or Spotify listening. Congratulations, you get to listen to the tech issues that's always on or in these one shot takes or one takes
I'm not
whatever.
gonna lie, I didn't even hear anything on my
I
end,
was letting
so
you talk the whole time, and I'm just fiddling with
yeah,
my microphone. I'm like, ah.
yeah, that's fine.
Now, the
But
third
yeah.
one, and I could have this out of order, but I don't believe I do. My personal favorite screenshot I have. You upgraded to a green screen for 24 hours and then
Oh, that
regretted
there's
it.
actually a setup in between that. But yes.
Is it
So
this
that's
one?
at my current apartment.
Is
Yeah, that's before.
Okay, so I did have these out of order. I thought
Yeah,
I did.
that's the same house, but my mom actually allowed me to clear out our guest room, which was being used as storage, and move in my makeup desk and my actual desk to create a stream room.
Yeah.
So that's actually the only time in my streaming career that I've had a dedicated room to production. And I really miss that. And actually when I move, there's a really good chance that I
Hmm.
get to do that again.
Hmm.
Um but yeah, that was really fun actually. That was a really fun era. That was a summer. Um and I was working at a grocery store, but my mom allowed me to only work weekends. So I was able to dedicate 5 days a week to full-time streaming, and I lived with my mom, so I didn't pay rent. So that was before I had moved into the apartment by myself.
Yeah.
So that was just a really fun time, a really good time. But
Now,
yeah, I
you
I love that time.
you are on a wide angle lens here. Now, I'm a person who
Yes, that is a one from Amazon.
I have had the tech experts will know an Avermedia PW 513, I believe it was called. The widest angle webcam that you can buy currently, still to this day, 2 years later. That had a 102-degree field of view,
Oh my god.
ridiculously wide. Now I use a phone that's still got like a 90-degree field of view, and I keep it zoomed in. But what made you go with the wider angle lens, like having half your desk in view?
It was
Like
$25 on Amazon.
that's a pretty good deal for 25 bucks.
Yeah, I used it for um probably 8 months.
Now, here as well is where you start to see the lighting change. You went from just
Yeah,
using the
those are
room lighting.
floodlights.
Yeah, you went to the floodlights. You started to get the color scheme as well, which you are pretty much now known for. The dark blue and purple, almost the cosmic colors. But
Oh, I'm
uh,
known for that.
it's your branding.
We're known for that.
You're known for it because it's your branding and you do it very
Wow,
well. It's almost like it's on purpose. I don't know.
it's
Maybe.
almost intentional. It's crazy
Almost.
being
Maybe.
recognized for intentional branding.
Listen, I see the colors, I think, "Oh, wow, it's Noctis."
Yeah,
Yeah,
good.
cosmic colors. It's attached to your branding, which is a good thing. Now, the best
Yes.
part of the branding is the fact that you tried to have a green screen, and for 24 hours, you regretted it, or after 24
Yes.
hours. Um,
So me and my current boyfriend hung that up, and uh we used a screw that like was a hook, and it was like a screw hook,
Hmm.
and it's not meant for weight or anything, and neither is my ceiling. And we're like, I think this sounds good. And anybody in my chat community that knows Noah knows that that's very on brand for him
Hmm.
to be like, yeah, that looks good. And I was like, yeah. So that was actually the first time I had streamed with a green screen.
Yep.
And I was like, look, I can even pull it up. And I swear my chat and me saw my life flash before my eyes, and my chair saved my life because
It
it would
did
have
hit
hit
the
me in the
back of your
back of the
chair.
head.
Yep.
It would have hit me in the head.
Going for
And
this
with that
exact
momentum
screenshot.
I would have knocked out. Yeah. So like about 2 frames of a screenshot right before that, you can see the angle that the thing hits the chair is where my head would have been if
Hmm.
I was sitting at a different angle. So that was kind of a whole moment. And then I had to spend an amplitude of time unrolling it because it was messed up
Yeah.
from that. And now it's actually here, but I have not used it, and it's safe where it's at, but I just don't use it because it like my angle of using it made a lot more sense there um
With a
than
messy
it
bed.
does. Yeah, exactly. And that's actually that wall. I have rotated my setup
I figured.
2 times.
I feel like I have missed a screenshot or two, but leading into all of these screenshots is where you are now, which I don't need a photo for. Everybody can
Yes.
see your setup. Do you feel like the setup that you have right now is a finished product until you move, or do you have any other changes you plan on making here in the near future?
This will be a finished setup until I move. A lot of that comes to finances and just genuinely not having like I do not have expendable between like paying rent because I do everything.
Hmm.
I don't have a job. This
Hmm.
is my job. Um Between paying rent and food and preparing for a move, every single dollar counts, and so there's no need for me to do anything else to this setup.
Do you have a layout idea, let's say in your head or written down for the new place for your like for your stream layout?
The new place, if we get the apartment that I want, um, it would it's a square room.
Hmm.
My current room is like a very odd shape. I'm actually like in a nook. So, and that the screenshot of the green screen, you can kind of see that's that wall, and the behind is my bed.
Hmm.
But like this part is like a hallway. So
Oh,
it's not a hallway, it's a room, but
I get
it's
what you
like a
mean.
weird like staircase
Yeah.
style room.
Yep.
So being in a square is going to be nice, I think, because I literally cannot move my setup in a different way than it is right now, especially since now I have a PC and not a laptop.
Yeah.
Because I was a laptop streamer for 2 years.
Which is insane.
Yeah.
Laptops, like, I for the people that do stream on laptops, it's massive respect. Like, I don't know how you do it, but listen, PC streams are so much better.
Yeah, it's kind of wild. I literally like the laptop was my pride. Like being able to say, yeah, and everything you're seeing is on a laptop it was just a really cool and a shock factor kind of thing.
Especially with
But
the games that you were playing too. Like,
yeah,
it's insane. Like, even if you have to play them on, let's say, like lower graphics, like it's still the fact you're playing on a laptop. You're streaming it all on a laptop. It's
with
insane.
2 monitors
With two,
connected to it
Jesus.
at 1.3.
Was that a little too much for the laptop?
No, I just moved.
Oh, fair, fair.
Yeah.
Now we finished up with your little throwback on the setups. It's always nice to
Yeah.
see where we come from compared to where we are now. Your overlays haven't changed
Come a long
too
way.
much. You've kept
Yeah,
it simple.
we did one rebrand.
Yeah.
But I used well, actually, whenever first started out, we had like a couple of phases where like looking back, I was like, what the fuck am I doing? Sorry, language.
We're 18
But
plus. I don't give a fuck.
oh, okay, I didn't know because you're on
You're good.
Spotify. But so
I don't get paid for Spotify. You can swear all the fuck you
okay.
want.
So that was just cringe. But now I had like assets that I had purchased, and I have just reestablished those into. Actually, there's a little bit of a difference in tonight's graphics
Ooh,
for my return.
that
It's
is.
very subtle, and
Mhm.
it's just kind of me pushing a new like branding aspect. But other than that, it's not super it's not like a huge change. I don't
Yeah,
like I nobody else that I've seen has my graphics. I'm not changing them.
I wouldn't change them either. Now, I got 20 rapid fire questions for you. We're about halfway through this podcast. This is kind of segment number
25,
2. 20
20.
questions.
How many?
20,
Oh,
20.
okay.
They're just
Rapid fire.
there's random
I'm ready.
assortment of questions I've gathered from the internet. Stuff to get to know you a little bit better. Some answers
Okay.
people in chat might know, some answers people might not know.
Tim probably knows the answer to
I'm going
every
to guess
single
that
one.
Tim does not know 4 of them.
Really?
I'm going to guess that.
That is Tim, keep count.
All right, you ready?
Yes.
Who's your favorite actor or actress?
Ryan Reynolds.
What is your current favorite song?
One
Just go to
moment. Let me
just go to Spotify. Most played of 2023.
No, I have ADHD, so I go through phases of songs.
That's fair. Apparently, Tim knows this answer.
Currently. Oh, okay, so this is kind of funny. Currently it's Shaboom by The Chords.
That is the greatest name of a song I've ever heard.
It's
Shaboom.
like it's like from Cars.
Why did I recognize it? You know I have my Lightning McQueen backpack. That is my carry-on bag wherever I go now, right?
Yeah, it's like life could be a dream. That one.
Oh my god,
Yeah.
that I never knew the title of it. Interesting. Now I
Shaboom.
know. That's adding on. I'm going to add that to my playlist. What chore
Good
do you
one.
hate doing the most?
Laundry.
Fair. First thing you buy if you won the lottery.
I'd pay my rent.
You want to buy a house, you just pay the rent. We're talking like millions of dollars, not like $5.
I
Tim,
would
I bet
break
you didn't
my
expect
lease.
that answer.
He probably expected me to say pay my rent. That's the only thing on my brain ever.
Oh, that's funny.
I would break my lease, and I would buy a house probably. I don't know.
Oh, that is
I would
great.
also have to like donate money.
Hmm.
I wouldn't. I feel like life would be too easy.
Life would be a dream.
Yeah, I don't know. Like
How many pairs of
I
shoes do you own?
at least 15.
I work at a shoe store and I don't even own that much. What superpower do you wish you had?
Teleportation.
Why that one?
I hate car rides.
Fair. Is the glass half full or half empty?
Oh.
Oh.
I see, I like to be I lean towards optimism, but I am a very analytical person, so I would typically say that it's half empty.
Mhm.
But honestly, I have an answer for that that's like a third one, but I forgot it.
Then you
So
don't have the answer.
just pretend that I know the other answer and that I said it and it was profound.
Got it. Who is your dream stream guest currently? For any kind of content.
Jacksepticeye.
Okay. I like that answer. What is the last thing you ate?
A quesadilla.
I bet Tim didn't know that one.
No, he did. I was just talking to him about the quesadilla.
Favorite subject in school?
Like college or high school?
Anything. Whatever you want to label.
Advertising.
Okay. How many times do you open up your phone a day?
Okay, wait, on that last question, I
Uh-huh.
like love school, so actually all of them other than math. Like I
You are
genuinely
the
would
polar
love to
opposite
sit.
of me. I hate
I
school, but math.
I love history, I love design, I love advertising, I love UX. I could spend time on. Okay, so yeah, too many times my phone. I have a time limit on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook and TikTok because I have no self-control and I'm very impulsive.
Uh-huh.
Um And Discord, don't even get me started. So on how many times I open my phone, a lot. Okay, a lot. I don't even know. I can't quantify it.
We're
Just a
not
lot.
talking pickups. We're talking full blown open your phone.
Yes.
Oh my god.
I open it every time I pick it up because I can't handle not knowing if there's something going on that's not a notification. And I have my notifications turned off because if not, it's worse.
What was your first job?
Like first job I didn't get paid for or first job that I got paid for?
Either or. Free
Well,
labor or money?
I was like a program runner for Girl State. No,
Okay.
not Girl State, Girl Scouts. I don't know what I just said.
Girl state.
Yeah, Girl Scouts. And then yeah, I also worked at a grocery store. I was a bagger. I
I
worked at the grocery store for 4 years.
I was a courtesy clerk. I was
Yeah, me
returning the
too.
stuff that you wouldn't bag.
Yeah, I did both, and then I was a
Courtesy clerk
cashier,
is
and then yeah,
terrible.
it is.
It is
They're all
terrible.
terrible.
Yep. I hate
Customer service
grocery
is
stores.
terrible.
Uh,
Shame.
who is the smartest person you know? Wait for chat to just pipe up. Me.
It depends on what you gauge
You
intelligence by.
you can say they are the smartest in blank.
I I don't know. I One of my professors, I refer to her a lot on like a lot of things, but I learn from other people more than anything, so I think that I know people that are incredibly smart in everything
Mhm.
at this point. So I don't really have anybody that stands out above
Okay.
others as much as it's like people that I specifically go to for certain things.
Okay. I respect that. What would you rate your humor from 1 to 10?
It depends who you ask. So, I mean, I think that sometimes I'm funny, but some people laugh at things that I say that I didn't even realize was funny. And like my mom, I always make her laugh. I can make my mom like cry from laughing because I know her into like her brain so well, and my family's full of really funny people that are smart. Um, like, I feel like I know Tim well enough that I can make the man laugh hysterically in, like, 5 minutes if I wanted to. But I don't know, cause like, there was a part of, like, content where I was like, "Am I actually funny?" And then now I'm like, "I've gotta be at least a little funny, or at least everybody's laughing at me." So it either way, I guess that makes me funny in some aspect. But, I don't know. I would say, like, an 8 or a 9. I
Okay.
wouldn't say I feel like I have things, like, I want to work on, but I'm more reactionary, like funny.
Yeah.
Um, you can't put me in front of a crowd and tell me to tell jokes because I will become the joke. It isn't like I can't just like, oh, I walked into a bar one day and it's like, no, something has to happen and then I make a comment and then it's funny.
Yeah.
Like,
That I'm the same way. It's like reactions, like
yeah.
impulsive
And the
reactions.
problem is content creation facilitates that, so I'm not growing as a comedian because I literally just like I'm just me. I'm just me.
It works though. If you
Yeah.
could have dinner with anyone dead or alive, who would it be?
Probably I'd probably go somebody that's dead because then like it wouldn't even have a chance of happening anyways. Um Probably my grandma. She passed away when I was like 11 or so,
Mhm.
and I would like for her to be able to see how I am today and like what happened because, I had a rough childhood. My parents divorced and stuff. There was a lot of reasons why I shouldn't be okay.
I can
But
relate.
I would just like to show and be like, "Hey, like I'm okay.
Yeah.
Like we're good."
You are the first person to give a honest answer when it comes to
Really?
that. Most people are just like, yeah, Elvis, Jack Black, like just a
Mhm.
celebrity, right? Nobody ever really thinks about the family answer,
Yeah,
which I think is the most personal. I
definitely.
can't even remember last podcast's answer. Robert, what was it? While we go on to, do you have any pet peeves?
Yes. I have a lot of pet peeves. I'm actually like easily irritable when it comes to certain things. I get irritated at, like, some people's, like, professionalism or lack of. I I don't know. I think Tim and Amala and probably Glept and Psychotic probably and Goblin know my pet peeves more than I do. Um, I have a pet peeve when Tim leaves me in video games and goes and does other ones or like goes ahead of me. That's like a pet peeve that I've developed. I don't know why. But whenever Tim's like, "Yeah, I got my character to level 60 and he just left mine at like level 40." I'm like, I'm annoyed, genuinely."
Tim just be doing way
Um,
too much.
yeah, I have a lot of pet peeves, but I've been trying to like control my critique of them, but I'm very I not really compare. I don't
Hmm.
know. When I see something that somebody could be doing, I get irritated because I'm like, why are you not doing that? But then I remember somebody's probably thinking the same thing about me. Like, but my professors have turned me into a person of critique, so I constantly critique everything I see.
Yeah, that's perfectly fine though. What
Yeah.
is the worst gift you've ever received?
I don't
Everybody talks about their
know.
favorite gifts.
Oh, my worst gift would probably be okay. So my dad and my stepmom, whenever we moved or whenever they purchased a house,
Mm.
my mom had custody of me, so I didn't like go there very frequently. But for my birthday, I think I was like probably 12 or 13. I had been playing like intramural basketball, and I really wanted to like improve at that. So for my birthday, they were like, "Hey, whenever we like pave the driveway, we'll get you a basketball hoop, and that will be your birthday present." They got the basketball hoop this year. So, the worst gift was one that was told that I would happen and it didn't,
Yeah,
especially at that point in my childhood.
that definitely does sound like something that's not that great.
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't like received much and been like, "Oh, this is pointless," but like that one sucked.
Yeah. Who is the most underrated content creator you know?
Wolf-eyed.
There's an answer right away. I'm
I
glad for
think
that one.
I think about those kinds of things frequently.
I respect it. Two more. Favorite movie?
Um, I'm not gonna lie, most movies I watch make me cry because I get way too in touch with them and I'm incredibly
Cars.
emotional. Yeah, Cars is a good movie.
Cars is a
I
fire movie.
Favorite movie? I don't know. I love watching movies though. Like I watch a lot of them. I think one of the best movies I've seen was where the Crawdads sing. But it left me bawling my eyes out. One of my favorite movies is yeah, Coconuts, Monty Python and the Holy Grail, because we always watch that on my Discord server and most people are intoxicated in some form and it just creates the funniest conversations.
That sounds fun because it's a movie I've never seen, and I want to be drunk watching movies. That sounds like a blast.
Yes. Well, you should come watch next time we watch that movie
It's
because
almost like I've only been in the server for like 2 months because I was planning this podcast and I was just like, we haven't really talked until the SMP. So like,
yeah,
yeah, but
I
that's
love my
okay.
SMP.
Final one on a scale from 1 to 10. How good at you at trivia? General knowledge.
Probably, okay, so I feel like I often have a limitation in trivia, so I'm
Hmm.
gonna go with like 8. I'm good at everything that I've like learned about or been exposed to, but I was decently sheltered. So I don't get many references or points from like the 90s or 80s or even like the 70s. Like I have no point of contact with that era of time whatsoever, and
So
I was never exposed to any of it.
okay, I respect an answer of 8. Tim, I want to know how many of those you did not know the answer to while we go into the second half of this. Like,
Yay.
usually I would do one, two, three segments back to back, but kind of can't with this one because the third segment I would go into is called hashtag TBT or hashtag throwback tweets. But you,
Oh,
on the other hand, have only had your Twitter for less than 2 years, and all of your old
yeah.
tweets are just content, and there's
Yeah.
like no embarrassing tweets or anything like that. So I
There's some fun things that happen that aren't really fun though.
the tweets that I pull up are just like
I
uh,
exposed some people. That was fun.
oh, I've exposed people's tweets. Like,
Yeah,
you don't want to know the tweets that I've pulled up, but I can't do that with you. So, what I
I
will
have a clean record.
I do want to talk about your socials though, to at least keep it on the same topic.
My schmotials.
You've only had your socials for a couple of years, right? At least the content
Mhm.
side, right? You've kept your other ones personal, but you've amassed a sizable following across pretty much all of your socials. It's been pretty even across the board, but one of your biggest and one of your most successful has been your TikTok,
Mhm.
right? Undeniably so. And for one of the reasons which you started off with was a recap. Your numbers recap, your numbers update.
Mhm.
You would just always skit, react, or just post a new one of like, hey, this is 3 weeks after I posted the last one. This is the insane growth that I've had. With
Mhm.
some of them amassing 5-digit viewership for a recap TikTok, it's pretty impressive.
Mhm.
Where did you get the inspiration for that idea of just posting the updates on your TikTok, and what made you continue it for the amount of time that you did?
So that was the summer that I did not have a job and had just moved to my apartment around that time. So I had a lot of time during the day. And I was watching TikTok on the content creator side of things really like evolve for people. So I decided that that was an avenue that I was going to take. I became a consumer of TikTok in order to create TikToks because I genuinely don't think you can make TikToks um, without understanding the market of
Agreed.
what's going on currently. And all of that, okay, so that whole TikTok account is basically trend TikToks rather than I now have a content only TikTok, which I refuse to post anything other than clips because I just want to test the growth of it.
Hmm.
Um, so that's been a process, but I had learned that the more you posted per day, most things would start to propel forward. And that was through watching my own TikToks do that. And I also learned that if I went live on TikTok after posting a TikTok that I thought might hit the thing, most of the time, whenever I posted a TikTok, I knew if it was going to pick up or not. Like I could just kind of tell. So there's one that got 66,000 views. I was live on TikTok and on Twitch. I had actually recorded that in 10 seconds on my break
Hmm.
from my Twitch stream. Um, Posted it, went live, and the TikTok popped off. In which my Twitch stream also popped off, and I gained 100 followers on Twitch that night organically through TikTok. Um, but I was driving like a circle. So it was like starting the connection, following through with it on the live, and then hitting it on the Twitch stream as like a follow through.
Yeah.
So I was creating a circle, like a cycle almost, where most people that went into one would fall into the cycle of going to all three.
Yeah.
So it was really just like a content strategy, but I just ran out of time in terms of like the ability to keep consuming content to producing it, so I just stopped.
I get that. Like, I know one
But
of the
yeah, it
biggest
was
things
just an
is
idea.
one of the biggest things with like TikTok too is if you are able to go live on it, you always want to do it after a TikTok starts to pop off because then
Mhm.
you just like your stream and your content end up on people's For You page. It's like just it's a double whammy. And then
Yes.
as long as you're with stuff like
Touch
vertical
points.
with stuff like vertical now where you're able to stream to both at the same time or you're
Mhm.
able to record your vertical content and stuff like that. Of course vertical uses a lot of PC power. I learned that the hard way. 40% just running, 60% recording just from
Mhm.
vertical on my GPU.
I would
Yeah,
love to be able to stream on TikTok simultaneously, but I don't have a stream key yet, so
neither do I. I mean, I'm not even close enough. I only got like 300 followers on TikTok because I don't post enough. Anyways,
yeah.
um, you mentioned how you have your content TikTok and your pretty much your skit TikTok. Is there any plans on either or that you have right now that people can expect coming up here soon, especially maybe on like the skit side? Is there any trends you're trying to follow or anything like that currently?
For TikTok right now, I've kind of just let it go passive. Right now, since in legislature, there's bills being proposed that would kind of like nullify TikTok in its importance. I I typically focus on one platform at a time in addition to Twitch and build it up like this so that eventually they're all up. But so right now I would say I'm more focusing on YouTube. But that was the TikTok era, and then I decided I was going to Twitter and then Instagram. Every now and then I'll go through like a couple week phase and like grow it roughly like you
An
know,
amount.
I grow like a couple hundred followers and then I switch platforms.
Yeah.
Because
But
I think doing it all at once is way too much demand. So
I could agree to that. I'm going to learn from that too. I'm going to go copy your pet. No, I'm kidding. But it's
no,
right.
it's the honestly it's the most strategic thing to do because
Mm.
once you kind of like go passive on one platform, people look for you on the other one, and
Yep.
then you are growing like a propeller. Like you just don't stop,
That is
and
true.
it's really nice. Like, but when I go passive on Twitter, I forget how to tweet when I come back, and then I'm like,
Uh,
"Hello, good morning."
Now, since we're not able to do the hashtag TBT, instead I figured I'd bring back an old segment, something I've done a couple times. Now, this one's a
Oh,
little bit more fun because I got your community involved.
oh, lovely, the
Oh,
little gremlins. What did you
yeah.
guys do?
Now I didn't get many people involved. I went to a couple right people, right? And I asked for their favorite moments from your streams.
Okay, that could be literally anything.
Now we talked about the first one already, which was the green screen.
Ah, yes,
This is one of the
it's a
most
grand one.
famous moments from your streams.
It
Now,
is.
a second one that I got told to bring up was you enjoying the exciting Canadian cuisine of a snowball.
Ah, yeah.
What made you go outside, get a snowball, and enjoy it on stream just randomly?
Uh, ADHD. It was snowing outside, and I recalled that snow is really just water and it's frozen. So I was like, I'm gonna eat the snowball. I'm not gonna lie, that was also during the hover era, so I was always thinking very abstractly about what content meant in order to grow. So I was like, this is gonna suck, but it's gonna be funny, so we're gonna do it. And that there was like a 2 month time period where almost every single one of my streams had that kind of vibe.
Yeah.
Like, I'm really proud of that time period I'm really proud of every time period that I've had. And there's been lots of phases of me and of my content through personal growth as well.
Mhm.
But like I was just like, yeah, why wouldn't I do that? And it was on my porch, so there wasn't yellow snow
Thankfully, it
because it
wasn't
was
yellow
on my
snow.
porch. Yeah.
The flavored snow cones are sometimes delicious, though. As a Canadian, I can vouch. But
Oh,
the second one, which I find more
Canada
funny, Canada. The second one I find a little bit more funny.
beavers.
Sorry. And this was one where chat tried to stop it, and you didn't listen. You did a graphics driver update midstream,
Oh, yeah.
expecting that nothing was gonna happen. And then you're like, "Oh,
Yeah.
guys, I think it'll be fine." Gone
Yeah.
in a heartbeat. Now, first off, have you learned about the technology side of the computer where most updates that require admin access are gonna restart your PC?
Oh, I still do them while I'm live. I
God damn it!
I don't know. It says it needs updated. I'm gonna update it.
You just don't want
I
to wait.
like. I think also in the last like couple of months with my stream crashing as much as it has, like I'm just like, oh, it's one more crash. Like I'll see you guys in 5 minutes. Like I don't know. It's like it doesn't. I'm very lucky in that my stream can quite literally be the most unstable thing in the world, and if it goes down, no, like most people don't leave because they know that it's just me being me
Yeah,
or like the situation. Like I said, I crashed in a 31-hour stream. I crashed 67 times and my average viewership was still over 15.
which is
Like,
insane to think about.
yeah, it crashed like 20 times while I was sleeping off cam, and that was still like I'm very blessed with a very wonderful group of people that support me and all of my chaos. Like, okay, so I'm here tonight, right? And all of these people that are in my community have come because they are here for me.
I
It's
want to see you.
amazing.
Now,
Yeah.
one of the funny things that I think about, sorry, throat's fucking up, but one of the funny things I think about with like your 67 crashes is
Mhm.
the going live notification will reset every 10 minutes. So every crash, if there was more than 10 minutes in between, to people that have your Twitch going live notifications on, they got 67 notifications.
Hell yeah.
So
That's
I
yeah,
wonder
I
how many
had I
people
had the
muted it.
bot set up at first with, it, like, on my Discord. I
Oh
was like, "I'm
no.
turning it off." I was like,
Oh
"I'm so
no.
sorry." It's like, "Everybody's gonna mute and leave my server." Yeah.
So I wonder how many people actually muted Twitch for like just the day or the 2 days that the 67 notifications probably went through. Because
That's
I know
actually kinda
I've
funny.
turned off my Twitch notifications on my phone because I follow like 1,500
Oh, yeah,
people.
I don't have them on my phone. I have them on my iPad, though, so it's
Oh
kinda now
God.
now that you mention that, I'm like, "Oh, that must have been funny." Yeah.
Yep. But
On brand.
third story I got told about, and it's probably the funniest one in my opinion. It didn't even have anything to do with you being live.
Oh,
Your mods trolled the entire Discord server and said that you were quitting streaming.
god.
Now,
Yeah.
I don't know who did
My
that
mods,
whatsoever. Your mods. They
as
did
in
yeah,
implying it was more than one.
yeah, I don't know who did that. Whatsoever. But like have you since let's say removed their permission to do that, or do you feel like they've learned from that mistake, or
No.
do you think they'll ever do it again?
Yes. I'm surprised it's not happening right now
I was
as you
about to say,
mention
do you
it.
think that they might do it right now? Hint hint, wink wink, nudge
I
nudge.
oh my god. So that I don't even remember why he did it. Don't you dare. I
Who
don't
is he?
remember
Who did it?
Timothy.
Oh.
All right, so Timothy did it. And I think we were just in a voice call and like we were all joking around about me quitting as a joke, of
Uh-huh.
course, cuz like it always
It
is.
always, yep.
And so Tim was like I don't remember the exact phrasing. It was actually kind of funny. It was like Tim, if you remember that, let me know. But it was like, "Hey guys, uh Noctis has decided to quit streaming. Wait, it was something really petty. Ah, I can't remember. It was like, she said thanks for the money and and nothing else or something like that. Like it was really, really bad. I immediately got like 10 DMs about people asking if I was okay because that didn't sound like me. And I was
Yeah.
like, no. And by the way, he added everybody,
Yep.
which is
I assumed.
350 plus people most of the time.
Yep.
So yeah, no, received so many very concerned DMs and a couple people left the server.
Now, I was about to ask, was
And
there any kind of like repercussions behind Tim's actions?
other than just, like, people asking if I was okay. Cause like, for me, like, I don't know, everybody knows I would never, like, go out like that and have
Yeah.
Tim announce it unless I was dead.
Yeah.
So, yeah, no, and he will probably do it again.
I mean, I totally don't have your server open on my phone right now waiting for a ping or
You
anything like
should you
that.
should you should ban Tim legitimately. You don't have to joke
I
about
mean,
it. Yeah.
that's not that hard
Uh,
anyways.
but then you can unban. Um, yeah, so,
I misclicked. Oops.
yeah, I no, but yeah, they still have the ability to do that. But
That's
we have a trust system.
uh,
It's only
I,
been broken a couple times.
I,
That's one.
that's one. That's one of them. But yeah, the honorable mention I have, even though I said it was the final one, it's just Tim being Tim.
Yeah.
Tim is like, as you said, it's the older brother annoying little sister in a funny
Yes.
way. I guess that's how you relate it, which works.
Yeah. It's just yeah.
But
It's our dynamic. It's quite silly.
I will
We
say, and this kind of carries into one of the last topics I want to talk about, which is the SMP. I really
Yippee.
I started to meet everybody in your community through the SMP. It was a blast.
Mhm.
Tim thought he could kill me. He couldn't. But I want to talk about the SMP in general. It's been one of the biggest focal points of your community, of your Twitch, of everything that you've done. And
Yes.
I want to start off by getting to know where it came from.
Okay. So you had mentioned this earlier, but I had a networking series.
Yes. The
In
Nexus networking
which
series.
Yes, in which I would deliberately bring on other content creators with the goal of collaboration at a group level.
Mm-hmm.
So the same mentality. So this is a little sidebar. My degree is in advertising and user experience, so I often implement the same strategies that I learn about into my content, especially from a business perspective,
Of course.
and that's decently how I treat it. But so seeing how that was decently successful, um, everybody had always loosely mentioned talking about Minecraft, and I had played Minecraft a decent amount throughout like growing up. And I had never played modded Minecraft. I had never actually played PC Minecraft because I couldn't get over it. Like the idea of it. So we talked about setting up a server, and then I was like, no, I want to make this like a legit thing with other creators if it's possible. Now, Psychotic and Imagine Cloud High are my co-admins on Minecraft. They are not mods for me. They are literally community members who have helped me tremendously and are my friends. So Psychotic typically takes the server adminning technology. I typically become the event planner, and Cloud typically assists me with event planning and like full scope legitimate thoughts of what could happen, and he also develops the event concepts and helps we all three come together to build the event like venues and stuff in the server. So and then Tim stepped in this season to help with just general moderation because it was getting kind of rough because Psychotic didn't have power.
That
Um,
was great.
yeah, so season 2 definitely stood out memorableness wise because of the amount of like technological things we overcame. Season 1 was, I think we had a roster of 20 people, and it was really just a shot in the dark. Um, we really wanted to just create an environment with the goal of people creating experiences from like a blank world, and kind of like create memories and have a reason to connect with other people.
Yeah.
And that for season 2 I was like, we're taking this large scale, even if it's not realistic. I was like, we're doing this, and I will make it happen, and we will make it happen. So
How many people did we have on the roster for season 2?
60. I think it ended up being like 66 with some exceptions, or
Yeah.
maybe a little more or less, but 60 content creators. I'm not entirely sure that that list will necessarily get smaller for season 3, but we have a couple of like people that I do want to invite into the equation
Of course.
for season 3. And we're already in preparation and possibly have a mod pack. Now, season 2 focus a lot more on technical mods. Season 3 we're going back to adventure and house building and things.
Thank
Um
God. I mean, yeah.
yeah.
As the
So
vanilla god on the server, yeah.
yeah, so we're exploring avenues to go with that.
I fully get that. Now, like you and I have talked a little bit about the season 3 and like what it's gonna be, and I'm honored that you've given me some of like the insider info in a way, like
Mhm.
what you just discussed. I want to talk about your top 3 favorite moments from season 2 and why one of them has to be nuking the server.
Okay. So I'll start with the elephant in the room.
The
The
nuke.
nuke. All right. So I
I wasn't even on. That was like
yeah,
4 a.m.
it was roughly 4 a.m. on a cold January day, and Psychotic, Tim, and I were exploring our admin inventories as one does,
Mhm.
and it was in the general range of my home, Cloud's home, David's home, Jax's home, Moon's
There was a
home,
lot of your
Wolfide's
homes
home,
about 500 blocks away
Storm's
from
home.
spawn. Yep.
Precisely, and the important thing to note is that that was the largest neighborhood in the server. Um, yeah, and it was the biggest cluster of individuals. So Psychotic was like, "Oh, look, a nuke." Puts the nuke down. I was like, "Psychotic, we probably shouldn't be putting a nuke down here. This is a neighborhood." Tim's like, "It shouldn't cause any harm. We should be able to break it." I was like, I don't think that's what's gonna happen here, but I don't know what a nuke in Minecraft looks like. We're like, oh, well, we just click on it to break it, right? Clicks on it to break it, arms it. I was like, fuck this. I'm gonna go stand in the tree by my house and watch from afar, because obviously it's not going to go that large. It's not gonna be a big range. It's a nuke in Minecraft. So Tim, it's like walking around. He's like, well, this could go weird. Starts making noises. It's like kind of like a very ambient, eerie sound that you just can't really replicate in any way with the human body. So then Psychotic is like, it's very weird that I can't break this block. Then the noises get louder, and the weird thing about a nuke in Minecraft is the sound design echoes. So it echoed through the wood of my house as I was like, oh, well, like I should probably get inside my house for protection. So walked outside. The noise just starts sirening through. Tim is screaming. I was like, this is not gonna be that bad. Clearly, it can't be. That's not logical. It's Minecraft. Psychotic is just standing on the nuke like, this is it. Within 2 seconds, you hear an explosion. The pixels on the screen just starts disappearing. And then all of a sudden, you just see in chat about for it to be 4 a.m. and there be 7 messages of somebody being disintegrated by a nuke. So everybody disintegrated. It destroyed everybody's house I just listed, other than Wolfide's. It killed all of Wolfide's animals that were out of the range of the destruction of the bomb because, you know, radiation apparently exists in Minecraft nukes. I don't think we were logged off because we could all see the disintegration chat, but I might be wrong.
This thing
and then
was
there's
like
people
500 blocks wide too.
Yes, there's people asking questions about well, like what do you mean disintegrate in the chat and stuff, and we were like, I don't know, what do you mean disintegrate? It destroyed our spawn points because it disintegrated it, and there was no evidence. Also, it was 4 a.m. and I think the only person streaming was Wolfeyed, and I'm gonna find this clip real quick.
I have still yet to see a clip of a nuke, and I want to see this.
He did not actually get the nuke, but I believe he got the chat messages.
Yeah.
And then I was crying my eyes out because everything that I had spent 4 days building was destroyed. Here's the link of the very well edited clip from Wolfeyed. So
Did you DM it to me?
Jax was streaming as well.
You
Yeah,
can post it in chat.
DM'd
You can
it.
post it in chat.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So essentially, Bomba go burr, everybody go burr, everybody lose everything that they had worked towards. All of my storage items were on a computer storage in which I actually was able to keep the drive by 1 block.
Oh god.
Yeah, it was 11,000 blocks of items within this storage unit. But it destroyed my computer, which was my access point to it.
Yeah.
But I kept the drive. So yeah, that was memorable.
I believe it.
Yeah. But like looking back, it's funny now.
Yeah.
In the moment I was devastated and I was really glad I wasn't streaming because I was crying hysterically and would not talk to anybody. It is actually in Wolfeye's clip, he requested to teleport to me and I like answer and he's like, oh my god, everything's gone, and you just hear me going, yeah. Like trying to have a conversation but not make it clear that I was bawling my eyes out.
Yeah.
So I was just like, yeah, everything's gone. Which is also just hilarious. But yeah, that was a moment. I think everybody, where were you when the nuke went off?
Asleep.
Yeah.
If it's 4 a.m., I'm asleep.
I don't think being tired helped the emotional. Like, Tim literally had to leave the scene and go look at his house because he was like, this is depressing. I think Beer was streaming, but he wasn't there either. So nobody, I think, saw the damage. Jax might have been live while the damage was happening, and he might have been there, but I can't recall.
The
But
only
most people ended their streams because everything was destroyed.
the only thing that I'll say for me is just like I was one of the only people I feel like that never had a home. Like I had a 2x3
It's okay.
rectangle.
Scooter didn't have a house either.
Yeah, I mean, him and I.
The home tour
Yeah,
at the end.
it was great.
Oh my god.
I had a 2x3 rectangle with just a bed, a crafting table, a furnace, and a chest, and that was my home. No
Wow.
roof, no roof. It was made out of cobblestone in the middle of a field. It was great
Oh, that's
because
hilarious. Yeah.
I was either in the Nether or I was in the End the moment I had everything. And I was just farming books for everybody. You know, I had that infinite pickaxe, and
Yeah.
then I became
I'm
God. But
excited for season 3 to be a little less technical,
oh,
but
agreed, agreed.
I think my other
Yeah,
one of
two
my
more.
favorite moments apart from that was probably figuring out all the technology. I
Hmm.
was doing water flow engineering in my basement, and it was really fun to have like that level of technical things going on, although not advisable while streaming. Blurred Fox is a Twitch viewer that really, really helped me because I was so tired when I was building my storage that I literally could not remember what I was saying right before that.
Oh
And
my
they were like,
God.
they were logging what I was saying in my chat so that I wouldn't miss a step. So when I was building my storage, I was able to like do it. And huge kudos to Blurred Fox because yeah, I was in shambles. I stream too much during the
Yeah.
SMP because I feel it's my reward for the amount of time I put into adminning it, and I
Yeah.
want to just play it the whole time. But that often means that my content quality is a lot lower because I'm just so tired. But I have fun. It's just like most people that like go to the host of the event, they're like, "Oh, I'm sure it's a funny time there." And meanwhile, I'm just like,
Click, click,
"Give
click, click.
me Minecraft blocks." But yeah, I think other than that, messing with people in like funny ways, like we were following Rocket around. Me and Tim we were invisible, following him around on boats, and he didn't realize we were there for like 20 minutes. And me and Tim were in a voice call, and we were like, "Do we just leave?" Because like
He
I
just
didn't
doesn't
realize.
notice.
Yeah, and then he like looks to his side and he just sees like boat that's just been moving alongside him the whole time, and he's like talking out loud to himself too, which made it so much funnier because we're just like he doesn't even know we're here.
He just had open
Um,
mic on.
he was just like, "Oh, what's that over there?" He wasn't streaming, so he was just vibing on his little adventure, talking to himself. My
Rocket was a little
overall
gem.
he was. My overall favorite thing about the SMP is how everybody like recalls their moments and memories like anecdotally. Like you
Listen.
would think they were there in real life because of how well they're able to describe it. And that's just that proves to me that it was special and memorable and that it had an impact on everybody that was there. The
You
events are like minimum. Like those are just to force. Like it's kind of like whenever you're like get to the first day of school and they make you like say your favorite thing or where you're from. Like that's what the events are meant to do. They're not supposed to be like super extravagant. And no normally they are really fun, but they're more just like, "Hey, look, here's all these people you haven't talked to recently."
the events were definitely like my favorite aspect
Mhm.
because I mentioned it quite a lot, like way too much. I was just like, I'm looking forward to every single event here. Besides, like maybe one or two that I'm just like, I'm probably not gonna partake in those. But like the day with
Mhm.
3 events, the maze, musical chairs, and PvP, I'm just like,
That was such a fun one.
I'm
My
having a
favorite thing
trifecta.
Yeah, my favorite thing about that day is that um I built the musical chairs arena, Psychotic built the PvP arena, and Cloud built the maze.
Yep.
And that was like the one day where all three of our huge builds were getting showcased. And I think a lot of people like it might slip their mind whenever they're walking into like the arena, for
Yeah.
example, that like Psychotic literally placed every single block. Like
Yep.
it we like not only do we create like a whole lot of like promotion and excitement about it, but we're also sitting there playing Minecraft building the event.
I logged on right away, like at the beginning. I found the arena. I'm just like, holy shit, this is
Mhm.
beautiful. Like it was insane the amount of work that you guys put into just building that spawn area that got nuked. It's incredible.
Mhm.
But
I love it's my favorite part about content, and also there's a lot of people don't necessarily realize this, but my community members are somewhat intertwined with it. So although it's content creators, there's also people there that are not.
yeah,
And they are people in my community that I trust and who I want and I know are typically good content creators, but they might not do it for a living.
yeah,
But like Cuddles, Neptune, Goblin. There's so many people that I want to make sure that are there.
of
And it's
course.
my favorite way to like showcase and connect people and be like, "You're friends now."
Yep.
Like there's people that I don't always expect to like become friends and then all of a sudden they are. Like Wolfire and Rocket's little journeys together became like a thing and I was like I don't know why, but I just wasn't expecting that. So it always makes me happy. It's my favorite thing about streaming
I
is my SMP.
I will say Tim could still not kill me with Mjolnir, even though everybody thought I was going to die.
That was really
I
funny.
took 3 hits and I was like, "Is that all you got?" But
Literally,
to
I
to,
love it.
to wrap everything up, because we could go on and on about the SMP, but I want to save our
Oh,
conversations for season
definitely.
3 because that's going to be fun. To wrap
It's
everything up,
going to be
Tim,
wonderful.
eat my ass. Let's
Oh,
talk about you. You
oh,
recently
talk about
celebrated.
Tim.
No, not Tim. You.
Oh, me. Oh, hi, hi. That's me.
You recently celebrated 2 years of streaming back in January during the
I
SMP.
did. I did.
So that was pretty good timing.
Yeah,
You're
eventually.
hopefully getting past all your tech issues right now. We'll see after this podcast.
Yeah, we'll see how many live notifications there are tonight.
Crossing fingers. You're soon to be graduating in May, I
Yes.
believe.
Hmm.
It's great that you have your own website. Only streamer I know that actually has their own website with all that stuff, but it made it easy. And your content is the
Oh yeah,
best
I'm
that it's
working on
ever
fixing
been.
that. I don't like that website, but yeah. Oh, it's the best it's been.
Your
Thank
content
you.
is the best it's ever been, but
That means a lot to me.
you're still only at your true beginning. What is next for NoctisNexus?
Um, I I get a little worried because of like moving into the graduated world
Mm,
of starting my career and not having as much time as I want. I've told my community before that even if I get a career that insinuates that I will have no time, I will still stream at the very least once a month. Like that is the absolute bare minimum requirement of what I will do.
yeah,
Everybody knows right now I'm in a very transitional phase, which explains my 2 week break. I think my tech issues have been resolved for about 6 days now, and I've just needed the time. Like I've gotten my portfolio together, I've gotten my resume almost together. There's actually a slight discrepancy on whether or not I'm able to graduate, that I'm resolving tomorrow.
that's good.
So there's just a lot of things that are happening that I'm having to worry about right now. So it's amazing that I can take 2 weeks off and I can still guarantee that I can pay my April rent.
Mm,
Like that feels really good. So and my mom is supporting me a lot financially right now because of like I if I can't produce content, I do not want to accept things or ask for help
yeah,
because then it's like you're not paying me for anything, you're just doing that. So I'm excited to move to an area where I will have a job and do not have to worry about payment for content.
yeah,
I really want to just like focus on just having fun.
of
But
course.
right now we're still in that like all right, we still got to kind of carry it on for like 4 more months so that I can comfortably move, raise money for moving. Especially partnering with a charity that will allow more of my community to be able to facilitate charity donations rather than my own.
Yeah,
Um, I'm very very lucky that I was able to. I've been a full time streamer for almost 2 years. Like this has been my main income and everything, and it's only because of the people that support me. But I'm really hoping that the future of Noctis Nexus is professional as it is. And I like to be seen that way. I'd like to put myself out there with more sponsors. And I just like to keep developing myself as a person. Lots of personal growth has happened in the last 2 years and 3 months, and some people have been there to see every single moment of that. I've been blackmailed. I've been almost doxxed. There's been slandered. There's been so much that's happened. I've had to separate myself from something that meant a lot to me to protect myself, even though I didn't want to have to make that decision. And I just like hope that it keeps being in the way that when I make professional decisions for myself, I hope there's like continually no hard feelings. Because my friends mean more to me than anything. So it's just been really hard lately, I think is a good way to describe it. And so I'm excited for it to get easier.
Yeah.
Um, just in life and in like networking and in not being afraid of where I'm not supposed to be right now, which is kind of how I feel. Which would not you wouldn't see that on anything, but
No.
I've been in a situation lately where it's like I don't really know where I align with a lot of people, so I'm excited to just get my SMP back together, get my people in one place, and feel at home again. So
You are loved by many. Don't ever forget that.
yeah,
And that's the
I'm
whole
lucky.
reason why, you can get 60 people for an SMP. Hell, you can get 200 people for an SMP if you wanted to. That's a little much, but
Uh,
you
I think
could because
the
of the
cloud would kill me.
the amount of people that care about you is way more than you know. And if our
Yeah,
conversation from earlier about TwitchCon doesn't prove it, I don't know what does.
yeah, literally, yeah. I'm a lot. I'm very lucky. Not that I didn't like put that luck on myself, but I am very lucky.
Now, listen, as lucky as you might be, you still have one more thing to do on this podcast. Ladies and
Oh.
gentlemen, final segment's trivia. We have 15
Oh, I
questions.
told you I'm not good at trivia.
You said
Okay.
an 8 out of 10 of general knowledge trivia, where
Yeah.
I, with this being a live recording, have a couple rules to explain to the chat. Number one, you guys are in emote only. Have fun. Congratulations. You cannot be
Mm,
helping Nexus, Noctis, or
yeah.
any other nickname besides
Chat.
Nara.
Naura.
Nara. You're not able to help her with these answers. Play along at home if you'd like. If you know the answers,
I'm
keep them
not
to yourself until
Googling.
after. That was number two, but you don't have to keep your hands up. I trust you. It's an honor system. But I will be taking the first answer you give, and you cannot pass on a question. To keep it fair to everybody, you have to answer before I move on to the next one. There's no time limit. Um, but yeah, that's pretty much it. I'll keep track of your
What is
answers.
that emote?
That is a dragon jamming. But I'll keep track of your answers. And there really isn't any hints unless I feel like one needs a hint. I don't think any of these do. But yeah, other than that, it's whenever you are ready, I'm ready. I have my list here.
It's trivia time.
How many stars are on the national flag of the US of A?
50.
What shape is commonly used for stop signs?
Wait. Hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. An octagon.
What is the nickname for a baby goat?
Old. I know that. A kid.
What is the
That's a farm
sum
girl.
of all the numbers on a roulette table?
On a what table?
On a roulette table. The
I
casino
don't know what that
the
is.
casino table with the wheel and the ball that you spin. Oh no.
I don't know what that is.
Just give me a random number at this point.
120?
What country was the beer Guinness invented in?
Oh no, I'm not a drinker. Germany.
If you were born on Valentine's Day, what is your star sign?
A, a,
You can
a
visibly see
Pisces.
the confidence just dropping, and I love it. That is the point of trivia. What
A
color?
Pisces.
What color is Santa Claus's belt?
I think it's brown.
What is Forrest Gump's IQ?
100.
What is banned in public places in Florida after 6 p.m. on a Thursday?
I am actually originally from Florida. Um, Probably, it's Florida, let's be honest. It could be.
What is
It,
banned in public places in Florida after 6 p.m. on a Thursday?
um, Swimming,
What do cows drink?
water.
Which actor is known for saying motherfucker in almost every single role?
Oh, I don't know actors and actresses. I- well, no, you know what? Kristen Stewart. Isn't that the one from The Good Place that says forking?
I don't know, but what was the
What's
first video on YouTube to reach 1 billion views?
the Maya he Maya who
I'll
Maya
accept that answer.
Okay.
What is the name? Oh, by the way, I forgot to mention there is 3 guest cater questions. So these are going to be based on interests I know about you,
Oh,
with one of them having a bonus point. What is the name of Meryl Ambrose's owl in Wizards 101?
Gamma.
What was the name of my one-hit sword in the SMP? And a bonus point if you can name what it was made out of.
I know it was made out of amethyst. Or it was the purple one. No, crystal. It was crystal. And then the sword.
The name that I one-hit cuddles with in the PvP finale. I mean, I one-hit everybody with it, but that's why I'm PvP.
Isn't it the penetrator?
Where can people go to find your Twitch?
Twitch.tv/NoctisNexus.
Do you want to know how well you did, or do you want to go one by one?
Uh, can we do both?
Sure.
Okay.
No matter what, we were going to do both anyways. You scored 6 out of 16.
Oh my god. Listen.
You started off very strong. Let's go one by one. How many stars on the national flag of the US of A? 50 is correct. Which shape is commonly used for stop signs? It is an octagon.
Oh, I was really scared you were going to say a hexagon.
Nope, it is 8 sides. You were right. What is the name, or what is the nickname for a baby goated as a kid? And then this is where the confidence started to drop. The sum of all the numbers
Yeah,
on
you
a
started
roulette table.
asking me things that a sheltered person doesn't know.
This is the same trivia I ask like everyone, besides the last 3-ish questions. The sum of all the numbers is 666.
Oh, that's
Um,
dark.
yep, it's a roulette table.
I like my answer better.
What? Wait, sorry. What country was the beer Guinness invented? It is Ireland. If you were born on Valentine's Day, what is your star sign? It is an Aquarius. The color of Santa Claus's belt is black.
Oh,
Forrest Gump's IQ is 75.
I was close.
You have officially had the closest answer on this question. What is banned in public places in Florida after 6 p.m. on a Thursday? It's farting.
Oh,
You can actually get criminally charged for farting in a public place.
well, you can also get criminally charged in California for tying a giraffe to a light pole.
Well, I mean, that sounds pretty interesting.
Yeah.
What do cows drink? That is a trick question, but you got it right. It is water. Somebody has said
Oh.
milk. Which
I
actors
mean, like,
don't?
they do, though. That's not wrong. Calves drink milk.
But I didn't say calf. I said cow.
Well, a cow is a calf is just a baby cow,
That's
which
a
implies it's a
baby
cow.
cow. No.
But it's still a cow.
You're right, but no. Which actors don't for saying motherfucker in almost every single role? Samuel L. Jackson.
Oh, okay, I can see that.
Which was
I
the
didn't know
first
he was
video
known
on
for that.
YouTube to reach 1 billion views? It is Gangnam Style.
Why? That's dumb. I like my answer better.
Sorry, you got the water one. My bad. I forgot about that one. What is the? Actually, you got 7. My bad. What is the name of Meryl Ambrose's owl in Wizards 101 Gamma?
Gamma.
What is the
Yeah,
name
I
of my
have
one hit?
Gamma. Gamma's over there right now.
You have a
actually.
Gamma?
Yeah, I can show you my Gamma. Hold on. Podcast listeners, I'm sorry, you won't be able to see Gamma.
Yeah, if you want to see all the photos that pop up on stream, make sure to tune in to the streams live. Oh my god, it's Gamma.
Gamma.
Oh my god, it's Gamma.
It is Gamma.
I was trying to look for Wizards 101 trivia, and then when I looked it up, they're just like, yeah, you can do this daily trivia to get coins in the game. I'm just like, no! Give me like a Reddit post.
Yeah, no, I know my Wizard 101 trivia. You could ask me 15 questions and I probably would have known all of it.
What was the name of my one-hit sword in the SMP, and a bonus point if you can name what it was made out of. It is named the Penetrator, so you are at 6, but it was made out of netherite diamond. We
Oh,
had the conversation
see,
that I thought netherite emerald was stronger than obsidian, but you had the obsidian stuff, which was stronger.
oh,
Yeah.
I for some reason thought I had a crystal sword.
No. Yeah, it was close,
Oh,
though. I should have had netherite emerald at that point, but I didn't. And then finally, where can people go to find your Twitch? You got your URL correct. That is 7.
I'm glad I got my URL correct.
I
You can
I
also find me at twitch.tv/Tim the Oppressor
There you go. I will say
once every 2 months.
this is the 3rd time we've used that trivia for the new season, season 3 of the trivia. You are not the lowest score. You are not the highest score. You are right in the middle.
Yay.
With a nice little, it's respectable. That's actually about the average across all of the trivias.
Oh, great. I'm average
You are
at trivia.
average.
So I guess my answer is now 5
Uh,
because being sheltered caused more of an issue than I thought.
well, Murdogan was the first guest of season 3, and he got a 5.
Oh, okay. That's
A-
on brand.
And Spooger, or now Spoogs, got a 12.
Oh, wow.
I know. You would never think of that from him. No, I'm kidding.
No, that's just like a high number in like random category questions.
There has only been one person who's ever gotten a 16 out of 16.
Really? Who
Yeah.
was it?
Their name was Gamer Tempo. That was back in season 1 of the unrecorded episodes because there's been
Oh,
39
okay.
that have never been recorded.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so
That's
this
a
is
lot.
this is technically episode like 57, 58.
Oh, and now you have a Discord banner.
Yeah, I'm now gonna
Yeah.
use that. But
Yeah. It also goes on Twitter and Instagram. It looks good.
I'm gonna make sure to post it on all those then. Unlike today, because I failed at that. But ladies and gentlemen, that's gonna conclude the podcast. For the people listening at home, appreciate you guys tuning into these. It means a lot. It's the reason why I keep posting them. The next guest, I don't have yet. So you're gonna have to tune into the Discord server or anything like that to find out who it is. It will be in about 2 weeks from now because I do like
Just
to do
start
these
going down
bi-weekly.
the list of the roster from the SMP and you'll find plenty of people.
I've had like I think 3 or 4 people from the SMP already on too, which works.
Great.
I have a list of like 12 people that I'm gonna be messaging throughout the next few months. But I did plan on doing 3 in the month of March. Tech issues happened. I didn't want to plan anybody ahead of Noctis. So
No.
we
No, we had to move it like 4 times. It was so funny.
but it's
It's like, no,
perfectly
I'm
fine.
doing it today.
It was perfectly fine by me. So yeah, in April we'll probably have a minimum of 2, but I might aim for 3 as long as we don't have people having internet outages and COVID and
Double ear
other stuff.
infections
Oh, and
and upper
ear infections that I
respiratory
didn't know
infections.
about, or anything like that. Hopefully they don't have
Oh, did
that,
I not
but if they
tell you
do, it's
that?
nope.
Oh
But it's
yeah, last week that's why I was out.
Oh Jesus.
But I was also traveling. It
Yeah.
was a combination of hell.
But yeah, hopefully, everything goes well next month. This month it was perfectly fine. You have stuff that comes up. It doesn't matter. But to wrap everything up one last time, Nexus, the floor is yours. Do you want to let us know about anything that's going on with your content creation? And anything
Yeah.
people can look forward to?
So, on Twitch, I am actually this is like a very weird plug to make because you're live right now and you will be live. So, Trolleyzz is going to be doing a Minecraft challenge and then I'm going to attempt to go live on my comeback stream. It's like most of my streams my best streams are my spontaneous ones that I didn't plan. So, this one's not really planned, but it's my comeback stream and I haven't streamed in like 2.5 weeks. So I'm really excited. And then we're gonna stream Terra Nil, which is a game that I actually streamed during my 31 hours stream. And it's a like environmental rejuvenation city builder type game, and I'm really excited to play it.
Ooh.
And it was actually gifted to me from Cloud. And the publisher for Terra Nil actually defended one of their workers that was being like sexually harassed and on Twitter, like, and they put them
Wow.
on blast. And I was like, I support this company. So that's what is going to be on Twitch, and then soon Labyrinthine. We're actually doing a playthrough series on YouTube with every single chapter as a separate episode, and it's going to be me, Amala, Tim, and Punza Blazing. And
Ooh.
Amala is actually on the dev team for Labyrinthine, so if you have any questions about Labyrinthine or you're ever interested in playing it, hit Amala up. Huge vouch for that game and the team that works on it. But yeah, we are gonna keep on trucking along, and I'm probably gonna be in and out a lot over the next few months because of moving and scary life things and getting a job. And we are gonna have a grad party in May. We're gonna have a little celebration on all of our grads because there's several of us that are gonna be graduating from different avenues, and I wanted to like put a highlight on us. So yeah, just lots of things. Some
That's
more
good.
Discord movie nights. Just kind of working on making sure our community is still healthy with the time that is yet to come.
Yeah,
So
I get that. Well, if you're listening on Spotify or YouTube, you can find all of Noctis's links in the description. But other than that, I'll talk to y'all in a couple of weeks. I hope you guys have a good rest of your night, and I'll talk to y'all then. Bye!